Hello everyone, I am V.Vardhini, Assistant Professor, Department of MBA and Vistas. Let's welcome you all in our subject Strategic Management. Today's topic is environmental scanning, types, characteristics, and factors. Today we will explore what environmental scanning is, why it matters in strategic management, the different types, key characteristics, and the factors that influence it. We will also look at the real world examples of how organization put into these environmental scanning into action. So let's start with the definition of the environmental scanning. So environmental scanning is the process of gathering information about events and understanding how these events relate to the organization's internal and external environment. So, the environmental scanning is understanding the internal and external environment and gathering the information about the events that relate to these environment. Okay, so the primary aim is to predict the organization's future as prospects, whether it's spotting opportunities or detecting the potential threats. So, mainly we do the environmental scanning to understand the threats which can come either from internal or external, and also spotting the opportunities which the organization can grab and grow. From the strategic management perspective, this means collecting, evaluating, and delivering the information to guide decision making. Here, the main aspect is the data has to be accurate and relevant. The guesswork won't work here. If there is any guesswork, the decision makers will not be able to make an accurate decision. The next thing is the main role of the environmental scanning committee. In many organizations, environmental scanning is not left to the chances. It is coordinated with by a scanning committee. So there are four important roles that these committee plays. The first one is decision support. So by analyzing the past events and trends, they help predict the future scenarios. Then they play the role of action planning. They help the management to prepare plans for the upcoming events. Then they act as a resource arrangement also. So they ensure that the right resources are available when needed. Then the last part is knowledge creation. So they connect the decision makers with employees who hold vital information. So this ensures that the decisions are based on the mix of a solid data and the expert insights without any just raw speculations. So next let's see some environmental scanning with a live example. Okay. So in this we are going through with the example of retail business example. So we are doing an internal scan. Okay, so we assess the employee skill, we upgrade the IT systems for more efficiency, and as an external scan, the customer's preferences has been tracked, and regulatory changes and competitor strategies are also being looked into. So the outcome will be the company launches eco-friendly products and improves the operations to remain competitive. Let's see another example, but this time it's a tech company. Okay, so when we do an internal scan of a tech company, we evaluate the R&D capabilities and how to upgrade the technology or technological resources in that tech company. The external scan will be watching the industry trends and emerging new technologies and the competitors' product launches. So the outcome from this scanning will be the company will be able to develop a cutting edge products that meets the market demand. So good scan can position a company to lead, not follow. Right. So the next slide is, or the next thing is, topic is types of environmental scanning. So we have actually four types of environmental scanning. One is continuous scanning, then periodic scanning, then ad hoc scanning, and strategic scanning. Okay, so constantly monitoring the environment to detect trends in real time is your continuous scanning. This is great for industries that change rapidly, like stock trading or fashion retail, right? Next is periodic scanning. It is done at a fixed intervals like quarterly, annually, half yearly, and it is useful for strategic reviews or long term planning. The next two types of environmental scanning are ad hoc scanning and strategic scanning. Ad hoc scanning is triggered by unexpected events or opportunities, as the name suggests, ad hoc. We are not prepared or planned for this kind of scenarios. Okay, so for example, if a government suddenly changes the regulations, the company might to do a quick analysis to adopt. Yeah. Then we have strategic scanning, focused on the long term studying broad trends that could shape the future of the business, like demographic shifts or climate change or emerging markets. So it helps in aligning the strategies with the anticipated environmental shifts. Okay, so the next topic here in our video is characteristics of environmental scanning. So, environmental scanning has some core characteristics. So, one is continuous, then exploratory, then dynamic, then holistic. So, in continuous characteristic is the environmental scanning is a continuous process. Okay, it's an ongoing. If you have started a company, till the company is shut down, it's a continuous process. You cannot do an environmental scanning just at the launch of a company and then you can leave. No, environmental scanning goes on and on. It's an ongoing process, and because there is a lots and lots of changes in the environment, either internal or external. It's an exploratory process. It monitors the environment to uncover the possibilities and unknown dimensions of the future. So it stresses what could happen or what will happen. Okay, so we are predictive, as in analytics, we say it's a predictive analytics. So we predict what may could happen and act accordingly uh, in a in a previous way. Okay, like before it could happen. Okay, before the competitors can act on it. Then it's dynamic, adapts, the environmental scanning adapts to the changing situation. It's not static. We do not have an hard and fast rule for any environmental scanning. Then we have holistic. Holistic means whole. So it focuses on a complete view of the environment, not just some particular aspects or partial aspects. So the next thing is your factors of the environmental scanning. Okay. So, and there are two kinds of factors. One is internal factors and one is external factors. Okay. So, internal factors includes like the internal factors in the organization have the directly impact of the performance of the organization. Those elements are known as internal factors. Okay, so internal factors include human capital, finances, and technology, things the in organization can directly manage. Since the internal factor have a direct impact on the performance of the company, the changes here significantly influence the overall functioning and the success of the company. The next is external factors. The In external factors, the elements that the organization affecting management and operations that are outside the organization. like economy of the country, or political scenario of the country, okay, competitors strategies. So these are the things which is out of hand of the company. So these are all the external factors that includes the elements beyond the company's control but still influential on the company. So these elements have substantial impact on the decision making and strategy despite its being a outside control. Okay. So the next factors in the environmental scanning is macro environmental factors and micro environmental factors. Okay, so broad forces like political, legal, social, cultural, demographical, and technological changes, okay, which we normally say is as external factors, comes under macro environmental factors. Other in micro environmental factors like suppliers, customers, competitors, marketers, other organizations and partners, these all factors comes under micro environmental factors, which on which the company has somewhat control over, but in macro environmental factors the company does not have any control. Okay. So to wrap up, environmental scanning is the organization's early warning system. It helps the companies anticipate changes, prepare strategies, and respond proactively. Okay, so in the fast changing business world, those who scan and adapt stay ahead, those who do not risk falling behind. So it is very important to have an efficient environmental scanning, right? So thank you for this video. We will have a successive video or a continuous video in the next video. Thank you.